Welcome home, brave heroes and adventurers most excellent alike. I am Ash. This is HeroQuest, and today we are going to be looking at, investigating, thoroughly researching, or at least just unboxing, MegaQuest Awakened. MegaQuest Awakened is a 14+ expansion for 1 to 5 players published by DeathForged Games. This is the first edition box, a fan-made expansion designed to be compatible with classic dungeon adventure games. It is not a standalone game in and of itself. It does require a compatible core game to play. The creator, Deathtone, has a few products out, but you'll probably recognize the name MegaQuest, which is something that I've looked at on the channel before. Basically, different sets of cards, also compatible with your favorite HQ game. This contains 15 heroes, 20 new skills, 20 new spells, 42 monster cards, 10 quest cards, 20 encounter cards, 5 universal hero cards. We've got a typo here, 1 dry erase marker, 40 world cards, 2 8x8 tiles that are 2-sided. That will be very interesting to see. 1 campaign book. That will be very interesting to see. And 20 NPC cards. And we've got a barcode. Should you wish to use your barcode scanner now, right on the screen, kids. You'll find it at the bottom of the cereal box. MegaQuest Awakened is a fan-made expansion introducing new hero spells and a campaign system that brings life to an empty world. Featuring monsters with their own custom AI for each type, the game is designed to be played with or without a game master. Dive into a living, evolving world with dynamic encounters, deep customization, and endless adventure. All right, so we see a lot of assets here used on the MegaQuest decks. I think that's totally fine to see those being repurposed here. Saves a bit on time, development, money. This is a big box. This is a, where's my cheap tape measure? That's probably like 2 inches off in calibration. This is an 11-inch and 1/8 of an inch. 11 and 1/8 looks like sized box. Is that square? Pretty sure that's square. Yep, big box, tall box. What's in it? What is in it? I gotta say, it's heavy, so it's gonna be a lot of cards, and I'm gonna apologize now for the harsh lighting stripes. I'm gonna do my best to mitigate that. You might not even see it before I open it. The back of the box, it's got this fun little feature here. Only if you are really cool can you see the secret images on the back. Man, that is quite the battle scene. Really glad they picked such an epic scene for that. Open! Geez, the suction. We have a very thick box. This is a very thick box. I have to say, this is very protective of whatever's inside. And what is inside is packing paper. Quite a bit of that to protect the contents. Once we remove that, we come to the realization there's really not a lot in here. The box actually said heroes. This is the first edition. Bear with me. Wait a minute. Hold on. Shh. 15 heroes you do not see. The 15 heroes are going to be in the form of STL files, and the creator is going to be able to distribute these for free with the game. Obviously, if you get the game, you're going to get access to these heroes, so you can print them off yourselves. If you want physical editions because you lack a 3D printer, you will be directed to the storefront where you can get the miniatures as well. I want to be completely honest and transparent. We are at $109 USD. That's the price for this through the GameCrafter.com, which is a platform that needs to have a little bit of overhead for charges. So this is for the version that has the STL files, not the physical minis. That's going to price some of you out. The physical minis are being provided through minis3d.com, and that may be a turnoff for some of you as well, depending on your perspective. That may be a pro or a con here. And some things got shuffled around. The creator has asked for brutal honesty, or maybe just honesty, I don't remember. And I'm going to give it, but I've also already got some practical advice, hopefully. Really quick, to cut down on price, I would probably remove the Ziploc bags as well. I can tell that these are going to be to store the cards in. I only use these to store chits, and I really try to get away from Ziploc bags if I can. So you could leave them out. It'd be fine. I don't think anybody'd be mad. We've got credits on the back. We've got like a whole team here, or at least attribution is being given to all of the people who put work in to help the creator of this rein everything together and create a product, which is really cool. I'm proud of you, Deathtone. You did good getting to this point for sure. This is an achievement, and it's something to be proud of. We have quite the amount of tarot-sized cards here. I can't wait to dig into those. However, this right here, this is gonna be my first point of contention. I'm gonna go ahead and get a few things out of the way. Some folks are gonna be like, Ash, you're complaining about that? Get a life. Look, you don't actually need the boxes to be this big. You don't need the box to be this big. You could easily get away with a box that's only a little bit bigger than the tiles because you can store the cards on top. You don't have to have all that dunnage. You can also separate these, and then you don't have to have a box that's so tall. That would be my first point of it. I'm sure that there are reasons for the box being this big, but for what's inside, it definitely doesn't have to be. And this may save you on shipping and possibly production costs. This is a very, very small point of contention. This is not the right size card band for this. This is too big. These are all over my box when I opened it up. I have not messed with these contents beforehand. Also, I have no notes about the quality of the box. You can probably hit this thing with a truck and it'll be fine. Dry erase marker. You don't have to include a dry erase marker. We can get our own dry erase markers. I will say, if you have to get the dry erase markers supplied from a third party, it's probably going to be pretty cheap, and it's very likely that some supply of them will dry out. A lot of folks have got their own. I've got my own set of dry erase markers. Also, this might pose a problem if you're trying to ship to certain territories. There are restrictions specifically on dry erase markers, so you could safely leave this out, I think, and I don't think it would lose any value to the product. That's just initial thoughts from a nerd who likes supply chain management. We have a really attractive card back here, MegaQuest Quest deck. We have, that's just one so far. Here's our encounter cards, looking pretty good. Don't want to show you that just yet. Quest deck here, encounter cards here. Okay, then we've got, these are hero cards. These are your character sheets basically, because on the other side you have your name, attack, defend, body, mind, your disciplines. All of this follows the MegaQuest card systems that you might be used to by now. So if you've used them, then all of this is going to look familiar because it follows the same conventions. This basically helps turn dungeon crawlers that are otherwise simple, such as HeroQuest, into, well, sort of a very sweet midway point between that and full-on TTRPG. I don't prefer full-on TTRPG, and HeroQuest is on the other side of the spectrum where it's dungeon crawler. And I guess actually if we zoom over, we pan over, it's kind of in the middle of a spectrum that separates TTRPG from board game like Sorry or Trouble or Battleship. But this is where I begin. I begin here with board games, and I move into this spectrum and I zoom in, and I really like this area here. All of this area, very big area between HeroQuest and TTRPG. About right here is where I stop. I stop short of TTRPG. I don't play TTRPGs. I haven't been fortunate enough to have an immersive group of players who were all disciplined enough to get together and play them. So I don't do a lot of TTRPG talk on the channel. However, I like where this system takes HeroQuest, and dungeon crawlers like it if you are so inclined. You could easily play a game of Dark World using this system. I say this, you think I'm kidding, but you could do it because Dark World only has 1 or 2 stats per character, and it has combat, it has dice. You can be more time to create the character than it would be to play a game of Dark World using this rule set, but you could do it. And you could do it with Dragon Strike too. And we can now separate these cards. It basically looks like we're looking at another edition of the ability cards, the spells, the skills. I think that is the case. We're gonna go through them. We have our monster cards, which we'll go ahead and separate those. Oh, actually, it looks like this is the same deck twice. This is interesting. We'll get into this. We have NPC cards, tarot-sized, of course. I like the tarot-sized cards. I'm not gonna complain about that at all because it's new, it's different. Maybe you don't like it, but I do. Here are our, what kind of cards are you? These are the encounter cards. No, I think these are the world cards, actually. Okay, we have more. Here. Here's the rest of our NPCs, rest of our world cards. Here are our different classes. Starting to get crowded. I'm gonna pre-sort this and get back with you. Transition. All right, there's a lot here to go over once we separate everything out. I'm gonna go ahead and show you one of the really cool things right off the bat. This is not exactly right off the bat. I've spent a lot of time yapping, but I feel you deserve this reveal right now. We've got tiles. We've got 4, technically 2, but they're both double-sided, 8x8 tile scenes. Do my best to angle off the light reflection here. We have a lovely little forest camping area. We have a cave system. This is outdoors, obviously, actually. We have what could be construed as a cave system if you use your imagination, but is really like a pass. These tiles may look inaccessible, but you can have your archers up here raining down arrows on the heroes, or your polar war bears throwing down snowballs. Okay, look, that tile is always going to annoy me. Okay, on the other side, we have a desert-like biome with rocky outcroppings. Pretty much all accessible tiles, except for a little bit of wall on the side. And then finally, my favorite, a marsh, a very colorful marsh. I really like how this looks. We've got a really sketchy art style here. We've got fish swimming around in the pond. We've got very large fungal life, and we've got tiny little poisonous blue frogs. If you touch them, you die. That's my headcanon. Kind of the largest thing in the whole box. Don't get me wrong, I like a good, fancy game box, but you could shrink that down. I'm not going to complain about that anymore. The campaign book also has all of the rules for actually how to use this, the lore of the Chronicles of Eldar, table of contents. We have a quick start guide, which I really appreciate. Character creation, starting the game, the travel step, exploration, the end of the campaign. Kind of done, and I can read this stuff really quick, but I also wanted to show that we have considerations for going on a quest, exploring cities and villages, exploring the wilds, going on a dungeon dive, NPCs, encounters, skill checks, and then we go right into the quests. So I will show you some of the quests, and I want to give you a spoiler warning that we're going to be looking at some of the quests. I want to look at like the first, let's say 2 to 4. And I want to do even numbers because we have 2 quests when you open up 2 pages here. I don't actually see an attribution for how the quests were illustrated in here. The quests are obviously HeroQuest quests. I'm wondering if HQuest Builder was used, perhaps Quest Booklet. No attribution for that. This first quest is called Goblin Den in the Mountains. All right, second critique, and this isn't a big deal for me. I can pretty much make out what's going on here, but this could be really small for some folks. The text seems fine. The text here in the quest notes seem fine. The actual map details are pretty clear for their size, but this could be bigger. At the very least, this could be stretched to fill in where your margins actually are on the page at the very end. It would be just a tiny, tiny change, and it would still fit in the exact same size book, same format and everything. But also, if you increase the size of the book at all, although if you do, it will be bigger than the tiles. So there goes the box idea that I had. Last night, as you rested near the foothills of the rocky spire, you heard unsettling tales from the locals about a goblin den hidden within the rugged mountain. The village elder warned you of the treacherous paths and the chaotic creatures lurking within. Just before dawn, a scout returned with news of strange noises and flickering lights in the cave. Now armed and ready, you step into the ominous darkness, your mission clear. Rid the mountains of this goblin threat. Beware, for the shadows may hold more than just goblins. Objective, defeat the goblin chief and free the captured villagers. Reward, draw an equipment card, +1 attack versus undead. The quest notes for the MegaQuest Awakened campaign are a bit unique in that they will actually go ahead and cover every room and also list what monsters are in that room. This applies to corridor sections as well. So for your very first room, A, we've got a stairwell and we've got what looks like goblin art. This is going to be really hard to decipher if we start getting into expansions for HeroQuest. So I think it's pretty imperative this does get blown up just a little bit. And our quest note says, entrance. As you step into the cave, you notice the dank smell and the faint echoes of goblin laughter deeper within. Monsters, 1 goblin. So you could almost completely isolate the quest text and quest notes and call that good, because then you are kind of able to operate without these defining images, and that might be why things are set up this way. You could literally just follow the text and the quest notes to create the quest top to bottom without looking at a single map. You could start anywhere on the board, and then as long as your quest note says, what monsters are there, because it's more than just the monsters, quest note D for this room right here, which it shows has a weapons rack and 2 goblins. We've actually got weapons rack listed right here very clearly. D, Goblin Armory. It even gives the room a name, which I think is really nice. That's a cool feature that I haven't seen anybody do before. The walls are lined with crude weapons and shields. Weapons rack, draw an equipment card. Monsters, 2 goblins. That's cool. I like the setup a lot. This actually feels really cool. If anything happened and we were not able to get these maps though, this is actually really neatly done. This is pretty sufficient. And I just haven't seen a system that was kind of unreliant on the visual of the map, kind of ironically separated from it. For our next quest, which is called Forest Sanctuary, we've got a little bit more quests, a little bit more details filled in. And I just want to remind everybody that this is a 1 to 5 player system. The monsters use AI. This seems to forego the entire trap concept, which honestly unless you're forcing your players to roll for traps like every turn or every room or whatever. It's really, really hard to do that, so hard to work in a single player trap system that feels fair. We'll go ahead and look at the next 2 quests, Cavern of Echoes. We have a lot of B and a lot of C's going on here. Well, a lot of C's, just 1 B. B is the name of the room, that's the old mine. And all of the rock nodes are C's. All spaces marked as C are rock nodes. Make a when brawn check. A when brawn? To see if you can break a node. If you roll a shield, draw a treasure card. If you roll a skull, you are making too much noise, spawning 2 orcs at the entrance to the mine. If you roll a black shield, you hear a wall move on the east side of the room, revealing a secret passage. That's fun. You actually get a little bit of mining in for this quest. The objective is to find the rare metal hidden deep within the cavern. The reward is draw an artifact. Added effect plus 1 brawn. Alright, and finally, we're just going to look at Crypt of Shadows. Very straightforward maps, which I really appreciate because I don't actually prefer overly complicated or convoluted quests. I don't like when quests fill the entire board. That's just a personal preference of mine. I like it when you can go from like point A to point B and that's the quest. That I feel like is what the board is for. Then the quest is over, your player's like, let's play again. And the only thing better than HeroQuest is more HeroQuest. Your reward for Crypt of Shadows is 300 gold, or draw 3 equipment cards and keep 1, discard the rest for returning the artifact. We've got 5 notes here, they're all very simple. You get points for the quest design. I'm giving you points for the quest design, max points for that. There are 10 quests in the book altogether, I don't want to spoil them, but I will go to the very last page where they actually give a shout out to other fan-made titles. I wonder if they notified them that they were going to do this. That makes it look pretty official, makes it look very catalog-like. We've got a Cthulhu quest here. We have accompanying QR codes. I have a video on Cthulhu Quest if you want to go check those out. Set in a place touched by madness and despair, inspired by the horror of H.P. Lovecraft. Out now on Amazon and DriveThru RPG. We have 5 homebrews so far. Search for Hano Dollar and Yield in on HeroQuest Facebook group for, well, there's no like main text here, but it's Hano Dollar and homebrew quests campaigns, starting with Blood Quest. I imagine most folks will know Blood Quest. Axion Quest is up next. My favorite complete HeroQuest homebrew system, Ash from AshQuest channel. That would be me. And HeroQuest plus Axion Quest equals the way it should be played by the Dungeon Dive channel. Really cool to see my channel name there paired up with the Dungeon Dive. Advained Armory. We have a typo. Creators of the Advanced Armory, Alchemist Shop, Artificers Guild, and the Dreadning deck. The Dreadning? I wonder if that was a typo from Advanced Armory themselves. Looks like it. Come out and check out the official DeathForged Games website. I'll go ahead and put the QR code now. Scan it now, kids! We also have a Discord server. Come chat with us. There's that. Signed by Deathtone. Signed with a pixelated pen. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you. And heartfelt message on the back. And we've got a lot of folks here listed, which I really, really appreciate seeing all the credits and all of the credit given where it's due on the back and the attributions like it should be. It's really nice. We've got Pedro Zalba on Fiverr as the card template designer. I've checked this guy's work out. He does really cool UI work. He would be the one responsible for the arrangement of how things look on the cards, or maybe there's a bit of a collaboration between Pedro and the developer of the game as to where things are, but he would be responsible for the artwork of the UI. So like the background and then like the lined sections here and your iconography and perhaps even like your scroll graphics. I really appreciate it. I think he did a really great job. The character and box art designer is Blue Banderhate, and I've kind of leaned in on suspicions that I have that this is AI, or at least AI assisted. I'm going to change it from AI generated to AI assisted. The style over the last 2 years of MegaQuest products has been extremely consistent. There are still things that really, really bother me, such as the sections around the goblin's eyes here, the weird musculature, things that aren't really artistic choices so much as they are whoopsies. And that's why I say AI assisted. Too many loops, too many spikes, uneven amounts of armor, belt buckles that make no sense. This is stuff that I'm always going to be a little suspicious of. And I know that some people are wrongly accused of using AI, even though it's just their art style. But I think these are tells that go beyond style. So artist, if you're doing that, stop it. Stop it. I don't support it. I do not support it. I would not spend money on it. But If it's just your style and you aren't using it, I do apologize. Because there's nothing definitive, nothing that says 100% factual that, there's AI. It's just strange choices. And I do say you've got some strange art choices that you make when illustrating these characters. All right, so this brings us to the character cards. The character cards are Stonewall, Researcher, Blacksmith, Thief, Rogue, Mage, Commander, Shaman, Merchant, Hunter, Blade Ward, Blade Master, Engineer, and by the way, I love this concept, Druid, Berserker. We have 2 decks of monsters. We've got a total of 6 Goblin cards. 1 Dark Wizard, 1 Gargoyle, 2 Fire Elementals, 2 Water Elementals. You know what? This guy's cute. He's just cute. All right, look at him. Look at his friendly little face. This is no monster. This is a Pokemon, and I'm gonna capture him. You can't stop me. I can homebrew whatever I want. 3 Dread Warriors, 2 Mummies, 8 Orcs, not a single one with a notched sword. Come on. 2 Earth Elementals, 2 Zombies, 2 Mechanical Golems, 4 Abominations, 4 Skeletons, and 3 Giant Wolves. Your monster cards have the stats of the monster, health and mind, or body and mana, or wounds and magic, whatever terminology you want to use. You have special abilities, retreat, scavenge, small. Scavenge, draw an equipment card and equip it. Drops when dead. I like this feature, by the way. It makes the monsters distinct, a little bit different from one another. You have a chance of having very different compositions of monsters depending on, just what session of game. You could play the same quest 3 times and have it be very, very different. You have their disciplines filled in for you, so it's got 1 in acrobatics, 1 in brawn, and 1 in luck. It's small, this may move through any other figure, only blocks line of sight of other goblins. And it has retreat, move 3 spaces from melee target. If used 3 times, remove goblin from game. It was so cowardly that the other goblins put a bunch of bars of soap in socks and they just beat him. They're like, too cowardly, too cowardly. Some cowardice is fine as a goblin. A lot even, but that's too much. His stats are 2 attack, 1 defend, 1 body, 1 mind. Going down forward into the orcs, we have Rage, Get 'em, which is summon a goblin attacking the target. You may make a melee attack after. And For Honor, pick a target, gain +1 attack per brawn points, cannot switch targets until it's dead. Stats, 2 attack, 2 defend, 2 body, 1 mind, 3 points in brawn, and no other disciplines. And all of the orcs are identical. So like if you were me and you really needed that orc with a notched sword, you would just go ahead and take one of these 8 cards and you would fill in 2 or 3 more points on their card here. And then if you draw one, you can be like, that's my guy. That's the notched sword orc. A game of HeroQuest comes with 3 abominations unless you go get, Keller's Keep. But you could take this 4th abomination and you could change its stats as well. You could have special monsters that were like gold versions, very threatening versions. Enough of my ideas. Let's get back to the ideas that Deathtone had when he developed this game. Let's look at the quest cards next. I really liked the back of these cards. The front, the scroll, I'm sorry. I try to avoid it. It comes back and it bites me. And it hurts. Physically hurts. The bounty, Grak the Goblin Chief. Defeat the Goblin Chief and free the captured villagers. Location, Den, Mountains. Reward, draw an equipment card, +1 attack versus undead. Clear the mines. Drive out the orcs who have taken over the mines. Location, Old Mines, Mountains. Reward, draw 3 equipment cards, picking 1 and discard the rest, +1 to brawn. Hidden metals in here as well. These pretty much correlate with the quests that are in the book. And I would like to know how that works. During your journey, you'll encounter various characters, from merchants to ordinary folks needing assistance. If your party can earn their trust, they might present you with a quest. These quest cards provide you and your friends with intriguing clues to uncover the entrance to mysterious dungeons. Following the path laid out on the card should lead you to the dungeon's entrance, where you can complete the quest and claim your reward. At some point, your party will encounter a dungeon, either through random exploration or by following clues from a quest card. Each dungeon world card contains 3 key sections. We'll be looking at these dungeon world cards next. The dungeon section, and by the way, these cards are quite lovely. These are very attractive pieces of this whole product altogether. The dungeon section, the mastery bonus, I almost said mystery bonus, and the quest. These are double-sided, by the way. You've got your lore and artwork and presentation of it on one side, and on the other side, you've got your stats for nerds. So the dungeon section outlines how to navigate and play through the dungeon cards. The mastery bonus: if any character has unlocked a mastery discipline, you can apply the corresponding bonus to enhance your dungeon exploration. And quest: if your party holds the matching quest card for this dungeon, you can find and pursue the specific quest described in the quest book. Without the appropriate quest card, you may select a random quest from any official or unofficial source, allowing for quests from beyond MegaQuest Awakened. So already this, in a modular way, allows you to take on other homebrew assets. If you have the Relic of a Forgotten God quest card, refer to the Crypt of Shadows in the quest book and complete the objectives. The party earns the reward upon completion. And then for mastery bonuses, we have for like mental, acrobatics, brawn, luck, faith, and ritual, different bonuses that can apply to each. If you've unlocked the mastery discipline of faith, for example, then you'll gain +1 temporary HP when you heal an ally during this quest. So this gives your party configuration, your makeup, slight changes to their loadout when they are doing this quest specifically. You can think of these as buffs that are temporary. Some of them are pretty good, like brawn, which allows you to, during this quest, gain defend +1. Others, they're not super lucky. They're not bad, but ironically, the one for luck is once during this quest, reroll any die roll and take the better result. It's just one time though. To go ahead and share this Minis 3D shop ad. If you wish to purchase physical copies of the MegaQuest Awakened miniatures, Minis 3D is selling them. Check them out. Here's your QR code for that. Note, on this channel, I don't really support Minis 3D. I know I'm kind of speaking out of both sides of my mouth here. I want to present the product as the creator intended it to be, and I support that. Support the creator's decision to create things, whatever means they wish, but Minis 3D, I try personally not to deal with them or showcase products of that sort on the channel. That said, I will show you the sculpts when I get them in, so that you know what you're gonna get if you get the physical sculpts for MegaQuest Awakened. Then I'm gonna put them through the test. I don't know what test, the look test, the drop test. Right, we've gone through some quest stuff. I haven't really gone over how to play this. So we're going to get out the rulebook again and go over the quick start guide. And just one more disclaimer, MegaQuest is a fan-made expansion adding depth to campaigns between dungeon crawls for HeroQuest or similar games. It includes unique quests, memorable characters, and diverse terrains like forests and deserts. This fan-made product does require a dungeon crawler game to play. MegaQuest is not a standalone game, but rather an enhancement to enrich your favorite dungeon crawling experiences. Quick start guide. Character creation. Choose a hero and represent your character. Choose a hero card to represent your character. I'm just going to draw one at random. I am the Blade Ward. Select one spell or skill for your hero, and we do have a deck of spells and skills right here, and they are double-sided. These will look very familiar if you are a connoisseur of MegaQuest products. Spells and skills are kind of separated by the color of their icon in the corner, with skills being green. Things that you can just do, like whirlwind, spinning blades of death, nothing will stop me. Or like press the attack, relentlessly push forward, giving your enemy no time to recover. Or taunt. The player uses their fierce personality to keep the attention of the target. That's what I'm doing right now. You're the target. Target must attack the player once before attacking anyone or anything else. I want to call attention to what looks like a typo. In the bottom right corner of every card, we have Creator Death Note. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Death Tone, unless Death Note is a separate entity that has helped with the creation of this game. We also have magic abilities that we can choose from, such as Crumble. The caster has the power to crumble the world around them. Target a door within a line of sight leading into a room, make a mind roll. All creatures in the targeted room take damage equal to the number of skulls rolled. That's insane. That is nuts. That is such a cool idea for a spell. Roll a die for each piece of furniture in the room. If a skull is rolled, that piece of furniture is destroyed and can no longer be searched. Oh, cool. So we have a balance element to this too. And all monsters killed in the room cannot be searched for treasure because they're crumbled under a bunch of rock. I love that. You've got the element of the spell underneath the spell icon. We have 2 more numbers here, and then we can flip the card over. And this goes into the whole mental, acrobatics, brawn, luck, faith, ritual system. Same as previous incarnations of the MegaQuest skills and spells. You can also use heroes outside of MegaQuest using the universal character cards included in MegaQuest, and those character cards are right here. You can fill these in, check what disciplines these characters have, their attack, defend, body, mind, body points, mind points, the name. The other side has got spells, gold, XP, skills, inventory. There are 5 of them altogether because, again, it's a 1 to 5 player game. What? Did you say you forgot how to play and what to do? Don't worry, there are 4 reference cards. that will dictate your extra actions, what the icons mean, the cooldown cost to use the skill, mana cost to cast, mind point requirement to learn, health points, mana points, mastery. Once you have 3 points in a discipline, you can invest a point to master it. Recover, meditate, these are extra actions you can do. We have directions on the opposite side of these cards for character setup, alternate stats, spells and skills and disciplines. You can choose spells or skills outside MegaQuest, costing 1 mana to cast or having a 3-turn cooldown. These cannot be modified like MegaQuest's spells and skills. Feel free to apply your own homebrew rules. Your table, your rules. Distribute 3 points into any of the 6 disciplines. You got 3 points to start with. You can basically be as strong as an orc, as strong, smart, and as cunning, and as handsome as an orc. Distribute 3 points to any of the 6 disciplines. I already said that. Each discipline affects your hero's abilities and can enhance their spells or skills. You can level up these disciplines during the campaign. Once you have 3 points in a discipline, you may add a 4th point to master that discipline, which means all spells and skills using that modification will auto-succeed, and you will auto-succeed skill checks using that discipline along with other benefits when exploring dungeons. You may level up your summons disciplines using your hero's earned experience in the same way. So again, when you are playing, and you finish a quest that gives you a reward such as +1 brawn and +1 ritual, you can add 1 to your brawn and 1 to your ritual. That actually seems like a really, really overpowered reward, to be honest. Now, if you happen to get 3 points into brawn, you can spend a 4th point if you earn it to master it, and now you're going to auto-succeed on all brawn checks. You are just you're an amazing, strong, muscular monster. The travel step, draw 4 cards from the world deck, keeping the backs hidden. Only the fronts displaying the location, name, and description are visible. In other words, these would be the front of the cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. We have drawn Stormcrag Peaks, which is a mountain, Desert Arc, which is a desert, Frostville Glade, which is a forest, and Mistwood Heights, which is a mountain. The party decides on 1 location to explore, discard the other 3 cards, and place them in the discard pile or shuffle them back into the deck. Flip over the chosen card and complete each section on its right side from top to bottom to resolve events. Continue drawing and selecting locations from the world deck until you travel to a dungeon entrance. If you possess the correct quest card for that dungeon, proceed to the corresponding dungeon encounter in the back of this book. That would be your quest section. Add any mastery bonus that the party may have. If not, you may substitute any official or unofficial quest to enter the dungeon. Be sure to apply any mastery bonuses to your character before entering. And end of the campaign. You may either end the campaign when the world deck is out of cards or reshuffle the discard pile back into the world deck and continue to play. It is up to you. I want to show you the encounter cards now because these are pretty cool. Flipping over, this deck reveals various room configurations with monsters and tiles and furniture that are all laid out, as well as points from 1 to 4 that will line out where your heroes are going to be placed when they enter onto this tile. And you can use the included 8x8 tiles for these encounters, so that's where these come into play. So like for Merchant in Distress, we've got a table that we can sit down. The NPC will be on the table. We've got 4 goblins and an orc surrounding them. A merchant is locked in a cage on a cart guarded by goblins and orcs. The lead orc has a scar across his face, standing menacingly in front. We have 2 plans for each of these. Plan A, fight the goblins and free the merchant. Reward, search the deck for any NPC and play it. All items sold by the NPC are half off. And Plan B, negotiate with the orc leader. Solo mental check, success 1, solo meaning 1 character chooses. Avoid the fight and each party member earns 6 XP. Do not save the NPC. If you do that, you're not a brave hero. Hidden Armory has got 3 goblins and a weapons rack. Plan A is defeat the goblins and claim the weapons. Reward, draw from the treasure deck. Plan B, sneak past the group I'm tripping over my tongue here. Sneak past. Group acrobatics check. Everybody has to roll for this. Success 2. Success. Plan A rewards, and each party member gains 1 XP and avoids the fight. Failure, go to Plan A. And say go to Plan A and the goblins get to attack first. Dark Shrine is another one with 3 skeletons surrounding a tomb. A sacred shrine sits unprotected except for the skeletons that rise from the ground to defend it. Each skeleton has +2 defend and +1 attack. Plan A is fight the skeletons and claim the artifact. Reward, draw from the equipment deck. Plan B, cleanse the shrine. Group faith, success 2. Plan A rewards, plus each party member gains 3 XP and avoids combat. Failure, go to Plan A. I kind of broke away from the credits earlier, but I did want to call just a little bit more attention to the folks on here so everybody is fully aware of who all has worked on this. I think it's pretty cool to have your name or your handle added to the credit section of a physical product that's released like this. There are some Etsy stores on here. There's some Fiverr artists that are worthy of attention. So if you are looking for resources to help you with homebrew projects of this sort, you may wish to research some of these resources. The last thing I think we have to look at is going to be the NPC cards, which are again these handsomely sized tarot cards. The quality of all the cards, by the way, feels really good. But the thickness, they're glossy, but it all kind of seems like it fits together, you know? I like them. And here we have our NPC. This is Gretelda Duncan, a stern but caring innkeeper who runs her establishment with a firm hand and a compassionate heart. Though her demeanor is tough, she ensures all who pass through her doors are well fed and taken care of. Make the drinks or quest. For Make the Drinks, Gretelda offers to share some valuable rumors if you help her with the evening rush. Solo mental check, success 2. If you succeed, Gretelda tells you about a merchant and you gain her trust. Search the NPC deck for a merchant and place them in play. Fail and the opportunity is lost. Quest. Gretelda hands you a tray and says, let's see if you can keep up with the rush. Solo mental check, success 1. If you succeed, draw a quest card. If you've already gained Zelda's trust, Gretelda, you can bypass this check and receive a quest card automatically. Kind of the same thing with a lot of the other NPCs. This is Corin Steelclaw, a battle-hardened warrior with a steel prosthetic hand. He's known for his unshakable resolve, his strength. We approach him for combat advice or recruitment as he trains outside the village. We can request training, and if you are successful after rolling 2 brawn checks, you can gain mastery in brawn. Fail and you lose the opportunity. But for the quest, Corin draws his sword and yells, "Come at me!" There's a solo brawn check with a success of 1. If you succeed, you draw a quest card. Some of these NPCs will give you specific quests, such as search for the lost relics from Brother Lucian here. And others are merchants, such as Ilar Rinley, who says, "I have what you need," gives you a playful wink and says, "I've got special potions just for you. Interested in a little peek?" She reveals 6 cards from the alchemy deck for the party to browse and purchase. Your wily salesman tactics won't work on me, you coy alchemist. Alchemist? If you complete the Defeat the Storm King quest from Captain Harrow, you'll get an extra artifact card as a reward if you draw this card first. We've got Jacob Timber, who lost his calling as a world-famous singer, dancer, performer, entertainer, and sometimes comedian. Perhaps if he marries into the Lake family, then the Timber Lakes can create offspring that are more well-known for as this joke is going south. Have a look here. He adjusts his scroll and says, for the right price, I can share some knowledge that will make your journey easier. And if you pay him 400 gold during the next travel phase, they can reveal the backs of each location before choosing. I think that's a ripoff, Jacob Timber. I don't think that's very fair at all. I think that once we have played through the deck enough, we'll be able to recognize our own backs. That's some bull crap. There's a lot of these, by the way. There's no way you're going to play through all of these. It's a lot of quests. You would have to play a lot of MegaQuest Awakened to get through all these guys. Harrowgate, the city. Crimson Hollow, the forest. Whispering Cave, the forest. Willowdale, the forest. Sundew Village/mountains. We've even got dual types here. Draw 3 NPC cards and place them face up. Each hero can choose an NPC to visit, with multiple heroes allowed to visit the same one. After all interactions, the party can choose to spend another day in the city. If they do, the party pays 100 gold and draws 3 new NPCs for that day. So this system's not going to work with everything. It's not going to work with, for example, the HeroQuest roleplay guide. You'd really have to kind of pick and choose, and you might have to thread together some things and use a seam ripper on others to make them make sense if you were going to use 2 systems that both used town and event mechanics. But for the most part, I think that this is absolutely worth a standalone play and give it a chance for several quests. See if it's up your alley. I'm out of time for this episode, but I want to thank DeathForged Games for sending me this, and we are waiting for the miniatures, and after we get those, I'll be able to give them a little bit of a presentation as well. I would imagine there are 15, and I would imagine the sculpts follow the character art very closely, I would hope. So it's going to be really interesting to see the artistic choices made to create those, if they aren't pre-built from assets. And that's MegaQuest Awakened 1st edition. If you made it this far in the video, I would love for you to actually hit that like button. I know that that's a crazy, dumb YouTuber thing to say, but it helps the visibility, it helps the algorithm. Commenting does that too. Doing both is like your MVP, you're lovely, even if it's Just be brutally honest. Be kind, but be honest. I guess, you can't be brutal. You can be brutal and kind at the same time, and you can quote me on that. That's an HeroQuest original right there. Be brutal and kind. But I'm sure the creator would love to know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for your kind attention, brave heroes. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye for now.